Hello everyone and welcome back to another Naptech tutorial. I hope your day is going well. Today we're going to be taking a look at Premiere Pro transitions, how to create them, how to get creative with them, and just all around how to use them in Premiere Pro. So transitions, very quickly, what they are is the space between two clips, images or videos or whatever is in your timeline visually. So what happens visually on the screen between those two clips. You can have transitions between audio as well, and there's another video on the channel about that. If you're interested, please do check it out. But this is really what happens visually between two clips in your timeline. So the first thing you're going to want to do is locate the two clips you want to transition in between. As you can see here, I've imported a couple sample clips, and we're going to be inserting a transition between these two here, just to smoothen out the transition. So the way it looks right now is pretty choppy. As you can see, we're just switching from one clip to the other without much room for the eye to adjust or for the viewer to enjoy the transition. So to add a transition, what you're going to want to do is locate the effects panel here. I already have it to the side, but if you don't, an easy way to get it would be to navigate to the menu bar here and click on Window, and then select Effects. Just make sure it's checked. Sometimes if it is checked but you can't find it, it probably is just hidden in one of these panels here or docked in one of the panels, so just locate it and click on it so you have it visible. Once you're in this Effects panel, you're going to want to click on the Video Transition folder, which pretty much contains all the different video transitions that you can use, at least those that come with Premiere Pro by default. You can add some if you're at more advanced stages, but for now let's just stick to what's included, so you don't need any installed software or anything to get these. Once you click on that, you have different categories of transitions that you can use. Very typical ones or very common ones are dissolve, so you have different types of dissolve. It's pretty much the blur you have between two transitions, and that's the one we'll use now just to show you how it works. But there are a bunch of other ones I encourage you to explore. There's immersive video, which is more creative. Iris, which is based on shapes. Page peels, which are more classic. Slides, which really just slide between the different videos and clips. But again, you can get creative with these. There's a bunch. You can even combine within your film different transitions. Really try to find what suits your two clips best. For now, I'm just going to be using cross dissolve as an example because it's the most common. So once you've located a transition that you want to try out in your timeline, you simply drag and drop it onto the area in between the two clips you want to apply it to. So in this case, just to do that again, I found cross dissolve, which is what I want to use. I drag it over here and insert it. So what's happening here is it can happen sometimes. The two clips that I'm sort of stitching together with this transition are so short that the transition eats up a big chunk of the clips. And that's why Premiere Pro is telling me that the transition would contain repeated frames because there's not enough to work with. If this happens, you have different options. Either you keep the transition. We can take a look here. As you can see, we had this little lag where there were repeated frames. You can keep it that way. But another way to go about this is either to shorten the transition by just dragging here. So you put your mouse to the side and you drag it over. And that could sort of reduce the lag. Or simply using another transition or using longer clips. So that's the first sort of basic gist of how these work. You drag and drop them, and then you can shorten them from each side using drag and drop again. But we'll take a longer clip here to show you how we can get more advanced with these. So let's choose Morph Cut, for example. Morph Cut is a more advanced transition. It tries to analyze your video to see what different parts are consistent across frames within the two different clips you're stitching. So this is only typically used when you have two videos that are very similar to each other. For example, you speaking and you just had to cut between your speech. And it's a good way to make transitions not noticeable. The only reason I'm choosing this one is to show you how some transitions need processing to happen. So this one happened pretty quickly, but some transitions like Morph Cut can take some time to be processed, in which case you won't be able to preview it right away. So yeah, that's pretty much how you use transitions. This was a terrible use of Morph Cut, as you can see, but there's really a bunch you can look into and sort of play around with. It's really easy. You just drag and drop and work around with it. If you do get this error message, a way around it, as we discussed, is to shorten or to replace with other transitions that require less frames. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please give it a like. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. And if you're a video editor that uses Premiere Pro, or if you're a Mac user, or just interested in different tech and software from Adobe to Apple iWork and all of these, make sure to subscribe. I do try to make as many tutorials as possible, and I try to make them regularly. All right, that's it for me. I hope this was helpful, and have a good day.